Hello, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to Ongaku To You, the podcast where three friends come together and talk about the Japanese music industry. This is our super special anime episode. I am Gray. I'll be your host for this evening, and with me today I have Luna.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our special episode.
Yes, sorry it was a little bit last minute. I had the idea Sunday, so it's kind of came together at last minute, but I think it's going to be something special. And ever since we've had the idea, I've been really excited about it. And unfortunately, due to work schedules, Ken's not going to be on this one. Do not fret. There will be a regular episode for you guys tomorrow. Some very interesting stuff happened, like right before we started recording, or at least a music video came out I thought was interesting that you guys will probably be talking about. But one thing I did want to do, because it's a special episode, we don't really get to talk a whole lot about the anime that we watch and stuff like that. So before we get into the meat of the matter, I wanted to throw out and ask, what have you been watching lately, Luna?
I've actually been watching, so I haven't been watching as much anime. I try to do one horror anime each, October, I try to do a couple. I've been watching a lot of horror movies, like I saw the new Halloween movie, I watched Deep Rising, but anime wise, I watched Higurashi no Nakokoro ni, aka When They Cry. I
Yes,
got like two
classic.
episodes left of season one. It's really good, really brutal, somewhat disturbing. I really like it. I like how they split it up into arcs. I think it's
Yeah,
very, very well done.
it can be a little hard to follow, but it's really. I actually watched the entire series minus the last two. Oh, not the entire series. I watched the entire first season minus the last two episodes. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm about there. I got two episodes left, then I have season two and three. And I'll start season two maybe Saturday. I
do you
also
have the
watched
Blu-rays?
Dancing the Vampire Bund.
That's a show. I
I
watched that years ago.
It's actually really good. I liked it a lot,
It is.
but
Some of the imagery is a little disturbing, which is
oh
to be
yeah.
expected, but it is. It's really good. I like the that they follow like a werewolf whose loyalty is to this vampire queen. It's pretty
hmm
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's very good. And then I also watched Gare Zero, which I don't even know if I should even get into my feelings on that show. The
Uh,
first three episodes, you have no idea what's going on. And I will say Funmation's Blu-ray looks like a piece of crap. It looks like it's DVD quality. And it's a
okay,
Blu-ray. I'm scared of
okay.
putting a
So
DVD.
here's my feelings on Gare Zero, here's the thing. It is a prequel series to a manga
Yep,
that will never be printed in the Americas. So
I
I'm like,
know.
so I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes, was really digging it, and then when I read that, I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this anymore, and I have never
So
watched it again.
I actually finished it, and after you get past the first three or four episodes, I really enjoyed it. But when it jumps into it from episode one, you think you're in the middle of the show, and I had to stop, turn my pause it, and check the disc to make sure I didn't have disc two in and not disc one because
Yeah.
I've done that before. I think I was more pissed about how crappy the quality was than I was about the show. Which the
That's
show was
fair.
okay. It wasn't anything great. I was more mad that the quality looked like a piece of crap and it was Blu-ray.
That's fair. That's fair.
So that was my biggest gripe, but it was okay. I mean, those are the main three. I mean, I've been watching way more than that, but I have like a list of horror movies. You guys can always follow me on Nerdy Collector Luna on Instagram, and you will see all the movies and anime I watch on there.
Yes.
So, what about you, Gray? What have you been watching recently?
Okay, so honestly, I've mostly been watching Kamen Rider, which is a cheat. That's not anime. But if we're talking about like animation, obviously everybody knows I'm a huge My Hero Academia season 3 literally just ended like a couple of weeks ago. I guess it's a month if you're watching the sub. Um, I've picked up SSS Gridman. It's four S's. SSSS Gridman, And I've got to say that it's only 3 episodes in, but if you're watching a currently airing anime, that's one I recommend. It's so good. I am sucked into it so hard. Just 3 episodes in. Mind you, I'm lost. I do not know what's going on, but it's so good. It's the basic premise is like the main character, he wakes up, he has no memory, and um a guy in the computer is talking to him, and everybody thinks he's crazy. Well, he can merge with the guy in the computer to become a giant robot sort of thing, and he fights kaiju that appear in the city.
Interesting.
Oh, what's more interesting is every time there's a kaiju attack, um, the city is repaired the next day magically, and nobody remembers the kaiju attack. So only the main protagonist and his little band of friends know what's going on. And if you're killed in the kaiju attack, you're dead. Like somehow reality is rewrote to where you died years ago.
Hmm.
It's really fascinating. I can't recommend it enough. So yes, I've been trying to get a friend of mine who's really into tokusatsu to watch it because it's inspired by a early mid '90s tokusatsu show that actually came to America. Who it was adapted in the same way Power Rangers was, and the person who voiced the main villain was Tim Curry.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, interesting. Interesting. So yeah, I've been watching SSS Gridman. That's like the biggest thing. Other than that, it's been work for me. So that and Kamen Rider Drive, like I said. I woke up this morning and watched 3 episodes of it, and then I had to go do real estate stuff and then come back in here and record the show. But I'm hoping to get back to some more anime soon. There's like a huge list of shows I really want to get to. Just
Oh, yeah.
time.
Yeah, you should see my shelf, and I don't have enough time to watch half the crap. I'm debating on what to watch after Higurashi. And I have Tokyo ESP sitting by my TV,
I
but I also want to
watch.
rewatch Inuyasha.
See, I've been wanting to rewatch Inuyasha, and I've watched like half of Tokyo ESP, and I don't know. I kind of fell out of it. It was like the first episode was interesting, but the longer the series went, just the less interesting it got, and I just wound up kind of dropping it. But maybe I'll go back to it one day and finish it. But yeah, other than that, we're going to move on. So we do have a lot that we're going to have to talk about. The list is 30 songs in total, so we've got a lot to cover. We tried to be as expansive as possible. Sorry in advance if your favorite song's not on this list. It's just how it happened. This list is reflective of the show and the host, not so much the best anime openings ever. That's subjective, and we
Yeah,
couldn't do
let's
that.
yeah, let's just say we all had a lot of songs that we had to cut. I had a ton of songs I had to
Yeah,
cut.
and I'll be honest. Only what 2 duplicate songs from a one series. So like we're going to be talking about like 28 different shows total. So it's quite we hit about everything you can imagine. So
Yeah,
it'll
we
be
did a good
interesting.
variety,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good list. You guys will be excited.
Hmm.
But before we get to that, one last thing, I did want to do honorable mentions. And so, Luna, what are a couple of the songs that you really love didn't quite make the cut?
So one of them is Shining Days by Kuribayashi Minami. It was the opening to Mahime. Also Dreamwing, which is the opening to Matame, also by Kuribayashi Minami. Um, Nami Tamaki, her songs Believe and Realize. TM Revolution Invoke. Hitomi Takahashi, Boku Tachi no Yukue. Also, Hitomi Takahashi, Aozora no Namida. And oh geez, I had a huge list. Some of them did end up getting on here by you guys, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Um, some of my other ones were, oh man, why am I blanking? Because I had them all in my head and written down, and now I'm just sitting there like, oh geez, I can never say his name. Kinya Blaze, which was the opening to Subasa Chronicle.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, that's such a good opening. Um, I probably should stop there. I'm probably gonna think of more and more and more.
Yes. Like I only have a couple.
Lisa Oath Sign from Fate Zero. I was
Ah,
really upset I had to cut that.
yes.
That was originally on my list, and I kept switching things around. And I love Oath Sign. I think it's a really, really good song. And when I heard it,
Super,
absolutely loved it.
super
But I'm like, oh,
appropriate song for the show that it's in front of too.
oh yeah, the
Let's
show's
just be
amazing. It's made me
honest.
cry.
The show is dark.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I completely agree.
thank you.
Melissa at Ready Steady Go. There's been there were a lot. I just feel like I just had to pick the best choices for the moment. But I change, what I listen to constantly. Let Me Be With You from Chobits. So, but those are just some of my honorable mentions. I know I have way more, but I'm just gonna stop. What
No,
about
that's
yours,
fair.
Gray?
So I only have like two or three. I'll mention. The first one is actually a shout out for a friend of mine. One of his favorite songs, and it was sort of on my list. It never really made the top 10, but uh, I feel remiss not to mention it, and that's "Resonance" by TM Revolution for Soul Eater. Uh,
Hmm.
that's like one of his favorite songs, and that's a really good one. I always preferred Paper Moon. To be fair, they're both openings are stunningly amazing, as is that anime. But yes, Resonance is a stellar song, so definitely recommend that. And just like me, there's a couple of songs that I love. I honestly forgot. There's one song on your list, and we'll talk about it. I utterly forgot existed, and then read it, and then I listened to it 5 times last night while I was at work. I was like, if we were ranking them, it'd honestly be in my top three, and it's not even on my list. So it's just because it's like you watch so much anime, it's hard to remember everything. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we do the best that we can. That's why I'm like, I don't want this to be like a concrete list, because Lord knows, like we could finish recording, go home, and or we can just finish recording 5 minutes after we turn off the mics. Like, oh man, this song I love is amazing. Should have been on the list. So the other ones I wanted to mention were Odd Future by Overworld, which is the fifth opening for My Hero Academia. I do love that song. The song's amazing. But the problem that you run into with My Hero Academia is I love all five, or let's see, how many openings do they have? So one for season one, two for season two, and two for season so five total. So Odd Future was the fourth. I'm sorry, I miscounted. And Lenny Code Fiction's Write My Story was the fifth. So, anyways, like once you get into like My Hero Academia, it's like I don't know. It's like a mother asking her kids like which one's your favorite. I don't know. They're all amazing. Just enjoy
Mm-hmm.
them. So that was one of them I had to cut. And the last one was the opening for Tokyo Ghoul. I do love
Ooh.
not the second season, but the first.
I was gonna
Uh,
say the first season. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah. That sounds really good. The less said about Root Alpha, the better. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, no, the first opening to Tokyo Ghoul, I do love. I love that song. It
Mm-hmm.
saddens my soul a little bit. It's not on iTunes. Maybe it is. I haven't looked in a long time, but I know for a while
Yeah,
it wasn't, and I love that song.
You remind me of one that I didn't include in the list because I loved it before I watched the anime, which was Sora Ito Days from Gurren Lagann.
Ah, yeah.
And that's one of my favorite songs, but I ruled it out because I didn't watch Gurren Lagann until this year. But I've loved that song for the longest time because I love Nakagawa Shoko.
I like I didn't watch Gurren Lagann till like 2 or 3 years ago. I was a latecomer to that party too. But I will be honest, as much love as that show gets, I hate the way it ends.
Yes. I love the opening song though, and it's like one of my
Yes.
favorite Shoko songs. And I'm like, I can't include it because it wasn't a song I actually heard from an anime. I actually heard it way before then, just because I like Shoko. So I'm just like, I'm gonna
Understandable.
not include it just for that reason. But I had to
Uh,
mention it because it's an
no.
amazing song, and I probably know all the lyrics.
Uh, one last honorable mention. This is super biased coming out, but the um the new opening for the last opening for the fairy tale series, the current one that they're using now is a LOL song called "The Power of the Dream," and that's cheating all around because like, well, I've watched fairy tale, I've watched a huge chunk of fairy tale, I'm not
Yeah.
caught up on it, and I'm not watching it. My familiarity with that song has nothing to do with fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens to be like one of my favorite groups done that OP. So I'm like, oh,
Yep.
okay, all right. Now that that's done, we're going to move on to the list. Starting off, again, these are done in alphabetical order. They're not in a particular order because we figured flow would be better if we just did it alphabetical order. I know Luna has her personal top five. I know me and Ken do not. So these are just 30 songs that we really recommend for anime that we really love. So don't think that just because the first one that we're talking is the worst or the last one that we're talking about is the best. Like it's no particular order. These are just songs that we picked. So it's the top 10, but not a top 10 as in this is the worst, this is the best, yada yada. Like no, they might be different tier depending on the person, but by and large they're all on the same level, and we just want to keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, we have Ace of Diamond. This is a Ken pick, and the song is called "Go Exceed" by Tom Hack. Yeah, we're
So
gonna go.
I did listen to it, and I've never watched Ace of Diamond. I want to. It actually looks like something I'd like. It's a good song, and it's actually pretty upbeat, and it really sticks with you, and it fits to the mood of the show too.
It is very high energy, very
Mm-hmm.
like super high energy. Same way. I've never watched Ace of Diamond. I'm not really a sports anime guy. Like the last sports anime I watched was Megalobox. So that says all you need to know about me. But I do know that Ace of Diamond holds a little place in Ken's heart, and I will say that that's a really good song. I could see that really. I I only listen to like the TV edit version. I'd love to hear like the full beast of the song, but
Mm-hmm.
so much you can do.
Okay, so the next one is mine, and the anime is Air TV, and I specified TV because Air also has a movie, and it's pretty much a recap of the show, but it has a slightly different ending. And being honest, I love both. Be prepared to cry your eyes out because it's really, really sad near the end, and you kind of know what's coming, but it's a very short series, one of my personal favorites. So the song is the opening Tori no Uta, bird song, and it's by Leah. It This song is absolutely gorgeous, and it showcases how gorgeous the anime is because it is a beautifully done show. The artwork is amazing, and you can tell it was definitely taken from a visual novel, which it was. The song just fits this show so perfectly, and if you watch it, it really does intertwine with the storyline, why it's called a bird song. You get the idea, and I don't want to ruin it because is a big part of the plot. I just love how gorgeous this song is, and every time I hear it, you hear the piano in the intro, and it's relaxing and gorgeous, and it just puts you in this really peaceful, nice mood.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Air TV. I did listen to it last night while I was working. I will say, if I remember correctly, because I wasn't able to take notes as I listened to it, it's a slower song,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a gorgeous song. And
Mm-hmm.
the moment I heard it, I was like, well, I know why this is on your list. But that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing because it is. It's a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
song, and
It
it.
puts you in the mood for how the show's gonna be, which is why the show's not. I mean, yeah, there's some high energy in it, but this show, it just when you hear that opening, you just know it's gonna showcase kind of how the show's gonna be. So, and it's not upbeat. So if you want something upbeat, probably not for you. But if you want something really beautiful and
Yeah.
flowing, I highly recommend checking this out. And the show in general is fantastic.
And I'll say, slower openings I think tend to be rare. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
it's like a long running shonen series, sometimes they'll throw in a slow song for an opening, so it is more common than you would think. But if it's like a short anime series, it's I don't know. I tend to think because the way openings work is they're there to hook the audience. So
Mm-hmm.
studios tend to probably not want to go with a slower song because there's no hook there.
Yeah.
So
And
it,
this
it
one's a little slower, but I think it's the intro that really hooks you when you hear that piano playing.
yes,
I
yeah,
think
the
that's
piano's
really what
gorgeous.
draws you in. So I think they made a right choice with it, and it's only 13 episodes, but it's one you don't want to skip that opening.
Yes,
So, all right, so I'll move on. The next one is mine as well.
yes.
So this one is from Bleach, and I had a lot of trouble picking my Bleach songs because, yeah, there's a lot of hate for Bleach because of the notoriety of the series and the fillers and yada yada. I
Doesn't
will
mean you
say this
does not mean that good music cannot be associated with it.
exactly. Bleach actually has some of the best opening and ending songs.
like
It's
I
amazing, and I
like
had so much trouble picking.
I considered Asterisk for my list. I really did.
Yep, that actually should have been an honorable mention. I considered Asterisk because I had that song stuck in my head again. I'm like, ooh, that's such a great opening.
Shoujo
Bleach had
S
so
also.
many. Shoujo S was an ending, I
Oh,
think.
see, shows what I know about the series. I didn't know that. I
It's
just know Shoujo
it's
S is associated with Bleach.
it's been a while. Harukaze, I think that might have been an open. It's been so long since I've actually rewatched Bleach. I've only watched it once all the way through, and it made me mad. I like most of it. I will say it does have some of it. Like actually, Aqua Times had some of the best openings for it. Velonica was one should have been an honorable mention because it's such a good song. But so the one I picked, I better just go ahead and say what I picked. I picked Change by Miwa. And in a way it's biased, but in a way it's not because this was the first Miwa song I've ever heard, and it was from Bleach. And as soon as I heard this song, I was hooked, and I ended up going out and finding out who the singer was. I ended up buying all her stuff because of this song.
I will say when I think of Bleach, when I because I bought Mio's Greatest Hits a while back, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been meaning to get around to listening to it, just haven't. But the songs in that on that in that in those track lists, and so I
Mm-hmm.
did pull it out last night, and I did listen to it. And as I was listening to it, the one thing that hit me, I was like, I don't get Bleach from this at all. It's definitely an interesting style
Mm-hmm.
to go with, especially for that show, because like I did watch like 49 episodes of it. I've read the first 12 volumes of the manga. Like the last episode of the series I watched is exactly where the 12th volume ends. So I've literally seen all up to the exact same point, and that's when Chad loses his fight in the world, the uh Shinigami world. So
And
I,
Change, let me see which opening Change was. It was the 12th opening, so it was episodes 266 through 291
yep,
for
I did not
reference.
get anywhere near that.
Oh, and I was wrong. Shoujo S is actually an opening, so that should have been an honorable mention. And Harukaze is also an opening.
Oh yeah, Harakase is an I forget. Well.
Yep, and Rolling Star by Yui was also a contender because that's one of my favorite Yui songs. But I didn't choose it because I loved Yui before I watched Bleach, so I had to rule it out.
Well,
But
back to the
Bleach had
song
some
at
of the best
hand.
music, and
Yeah,
I will say
this is a good
Change
song though.
doesn't disappoint.
It's good. It's a really good song. But
Hmm.
it's different. It's not what I envision. Like when I think Bleach and I think Death God spirits or whatnot, it's changed not quite there. It's a little different. So it is
Yeah, it
interesting.
doesn't, but it catches you because Shoujo S doesn't quite fit either.
That's very true
But
too.
it's also a song that catches you, so I feel like, with those songs, it really does hook you in, and I'd want to watch it just for that opening. So,
Well, P
did
way
you
live.
want to do the next one, Gray?
I
Since it's
can. I,
Ken's?
I it is Ken's, and I did listen to it beforehand. Because like I said, my Bleach not that great. But the next is also a Bleach song, and it is by Uberworld. It is D Techno Life. I gotta say, this is actually quite an interesting song. I really
Oh, I love
enjoyed
it.
it. I really enjoyed it. Like I watched I put on the Vivo. I had to do some work, so I couldn't watch the music video, but I did watch but I did listen to it. It is really good. It's got a good hook. It's good energy to
Hmm.
it. This is more in line of what I think a Bleach opening would be, just musically wise.
Hmm. And
But
this was the second opening, so it really catches you and it fits perfectly. And this was also on my list, but I had two Bleach songs on my list, and
yes, you
I
did.
got rid of D Techno Life because
That's okay.
I I
Ken swooped in and saved it for you, so you didn't
he
you didn't
did,
lose anything.
because this is such a great song, and I actually know all the lyrics to this song because I seasons 1 through 3 of Bleach are the best, so I watched those more than once, while I've seen the rest of it only once. So I love this song, and I had it on repeat as soon as I heard it. And I feel like whenever Uberworld does an anime theme, they do not disappoint.
They don't. I know them for two songs. This one now and Odd Future for My Hero. Both songs are
Who
stellar. Both
Colors for
songs.
the Heart? Colors of the Heart is in Blood Plus, and it's an opening. They did that as well, and it's really good too.
Go Overworld. Like I gotta
So
listen to more of their music. I gotta listen to more of their music because
I do too. I always say that,
uh,
and everything I hear from anime, and I really like that song, and then I need to listen to more. Um, so the next one, I guess we'll kind of split this one because I did listen to it.
I did
It is the.
too.
Did you?
I did, but it was briefly.
Same.
Yeah.
So the next one is Ken's pick as well. This is one I'm not too familiar with. It's called Card Fight Vanguard,
Yes.
and the artist is Roselia, and the song is Legendary. And
Now, if I'm correct, and Ken will have to correct me on this one,
mhm,
but if I'm correct, Cardfight Vanguard, you can watch the whole series on YouTube. It's there available on YouTube to watch. It's a card battle series, much in the same way as Yu-Gi-Oh is. Um, Now, obviously, the rules are different, but I did listen to this. It's very poppy.
it's very
Yeah.
poppy. It has a little bit of rock feel to it, but you definitely know it's an anime song because when you
Yeah.
hear it, it has that sound.
Yes.
And
Yeah. It
it
does.
looks like it fits with the show perfectly, in my
It
opinion.
does.
From what I noticed, like, it has that, the song just has that feel to it.
Yeah. No. It is very. It does have a little rock thing to it. 'Cause it is Roselia, and we all know how much Ken loves Roselia. So
Hmm.
there's another reason why it's probably on this list. But it is. I did like it. I did like it. Don't know if it'd get me to watch Cardfight Vanguard, but I did like the song. So it is interesting.
Okay, so the next one is actually mine. So
Yep.
the anime is Chrono Crusade, and I cannot talk about how much I love this. I've watched this show I don't know how many freaking times. I want to really rewatch it again, but since I've watched it so many times, I got other things that I haven't watched I need to watch. But the song is Tsubasa wa Pleasure Line by Kuri. Kuribayashi Minami. This song is so beautiful, and as soon as you hear her voice and you see that theme come on, it fits. And this show is it's really really good, but you better have a box of tissues when it gets near the end, because as soon as you watch that first episode, you already know what's going to happen to the main characters by the end of the show. And you're going to get to love them, and you're going to get that not want that to happen.
So,
And
so for me, Chrono
so
Crusade's one of those shows where it's like I've wanted to watch it for years, and just due to timing, the way things just kind of fell down, I've never gotten around to watching it. But I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the series. It's supposed to be
it's
so good,
it's
and I really want
amazing.
to watch it.
It's I highly recommend it to, if you get a chance to ever sit down and watch it, just make sure when you get near the end you have a box of tissues. I own the manga too. The manga and the anime have a completely different ending. I think the manga has a way more depressing ending than the show. Whenever I
Yeah,
read the manga, I like cannot stop crying when I've read it a couple times.
I,
But the
I
theme song fits perfectly. It is an upbeat song, but it also has this beautiful like serenity to it as well.
it,
I don't know.
yeah, it's interesting. I really did like the song. Made me want to watch the show because I've been interested in it for a while. So
And
I
it
guess
has really
timing.
good music. If I'm correct, it was I forgot. Oh man, I need to look to see who actually did the composing for it. But I love Kuribayashi Minami. Has so many great anime songs, and I am actually a huge fan of her. I got into her because of like Chrono Crusade, Mahime and Matsume, and Chrono Crusade was like my first exposure to her. I watched it on Showtime back when I was in high school, and this is like the first song I ever heard by her. And it like got me hooked. Her voice fits with the show perfectly, and it really does make you want to watch the show. And now I really want to rewatch it again.
You're
It's
welcome.
so good.
You're welcome.
So,
All right, moving on to number 8. The my first one. Finally. So for number 8, I went with the series. Honestly, I was a latecomer to the show too. I watched it only a couple of years back, but man, do I love the song. It's Code Geass, uh, and the song is "Colors" by Flo. I really, really love this song, and it's not too thematically fitting for the series because the series is dark and depressing.
mm-hmm.
But Colors hooks you in pretty hard. It's so good. It's such a good song. It's so upbeat, so fun. And Flo is just talented in and of itself. So, you know, there's a couple of other anime songs that they do that I love. Unfortunately, there's songs in those series that I love more. But if I had to pick a favorite Flow song, it would be Colors. Like it is probably my favorite song they do.
And I
So
agree with you on that because I also absolutely love the song, and I couldn't agree with you anymore for putting it on here. It is amazing.
yeah, it's so good. When I watched Code Geass, I was like, why am I so late to this party? This show is amazing, and Colors is awesome. The second opening is good too, but it's not nearly as good as Colors was. So like it's just like state of disappointment when I watched season 2. I was like, I want Colors back, but yeah, I know Colors is so good. Definitely recommend that one. It's really stellar song. Moving on to the next one. This is, I would say, and Luna, I wonder if you agree with me on this. This is probably the most unique song on the list, and probably the most expected at the same time. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I totally agree. I
Yeah,
totally agree. Who would not
yeah.
include this? I had a feeling when I saw you included it, I'm like, well, I don't have to include this one now.
So yeah, it's not a traditional song. It's not even your traditional licensed music that they typically do. But Cowboy Bebop is just so popular in the West, and Tank is so good. Composed by Yoko Kanno, performed by the Seatbelts. This song is the definition of cool and suave, in my opinion. And I just, it would be really weird if we did a top 10 and this song is not here. It just it would be weird. So, and it's really the top 30, but Tank, it has to be on here. There's just no way for it to not be here. It's such a great song. So for anybody who's not watched Cowboy Bebop, it is a jazz song. There is a little vocal entrance with a gentleman that says three, two, one, let's jam. That's all the words. The rest of the song is music. Um, but man, it's got a hook uh, like none other. The trumpets, the saxophone, it all flows well. The sax solo in there just spoke to my little saxophonist heart because I played alto as in high school, so I'm not biased in any manner or whatnot. So just Tank is good. Even people who like there was a couple of people growing up who they didn't watch anime or whatnot, but they would hear Tank and they would go, "What is this song?" It just lures you in, and man, is it fun! Like like the perfect opening to that show. I couldn't think of anything better.
I agree. Completely agree. I couldn't have said it any better myself.
Oh, thank you. Going on to number 10. This was not on my list, and I was convinced to put it on my list. So here it is. It is Death Parade's Flyers by Bradio. Um, like we did a whole show about how much I love Bradio. So I don't know how much more I can say about this. I love Flyers. Such a great song. It is it is in front of an interesting show because the show is a lot darker and a lot heavier than the free flowing fun song that you get at the start of it. It just is because the subject that they're dealing with is really depressing. But the opening is so much fun, and the animators just had a ball. Like it's the funnest thing on the show is the opening. The show's amazing, but don't let the high flying spirits of flyers fool you. Death Parade's pretty dark and it has a mildly sad ending, so just be prepared. Um, Going on
Alright.
to, is there anything you wanted to add, Luna?
Nope, nope.
Uh,
We said everything on that radio and Flyers is an awesome song, but I still haven't seen Death Parade. That's on my list. I have it on my shelf.
yes, yes, yes. And you've heard me say many times, you're missing out if you're not watching that. It's a good show.
I'll get to it. It'll get there.
To be fair, I haven't seen Death Billiards, and Death Billiards is it. It's not important. You don't have to watch Death Billiards to know what's going on, but it's kind of a pseudo prequel to Death Parade. So,
Is it an anime? Death Billiards?
yeah, it's an animated movie.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Yeah,
You got
I
me
don't have
curious.
it, but yeah, I've heard it's good. It's really good. Going on, I'll take this one because I'm familiar with it. I don't know if you are, Luna.
I know I listened to the song beforehand a little bit.
That's fine. I know I just finished watching Digimon Adventure Try, so I know the song really well. Um, it's one of the ones where I didn't have to listen to it. I already knew it. Hooray! So this is Ken's pick, and he did pick a good one. It's from Digimon Adventure. It's Butterfly by Koji Wada, and I do love this song. This song is absolutely amazing. It hits this weird. nostalgia for me because um, growing up as a kid, like you didn't get any of the Japanese music, so you don't get to hear any of it. So when they did try, they left in all the Japanese music, and so that was really like the first time I got to hear a lot of that as an adult. But Butterfly, it's such a even not growing up with the Japanese version, not having heard it, like when you go in and you watch Try, like when you hear that song, just nostalgia just hits you in the face. It's such a good song, and in Digimon Adventure Try, they utilize that song to great effect for maximum emotional carnage, as in you will cry most of the time you hear Butterfly in the background. So it is a really good song. Super. It's upbeat. It's not super fast. It's kind of a middle tempo, but it's really good. Has a good hook. Uh, After the second time you've heard it, you're singing along with it. It's a really good song.
I agree. So I'll do the next one. This one is Ken's. So it is from the anime Erased, which I still need to watch. I have not watched that one yet, but the song is Riri by Asian Kung Fu Generation,
Yes.
and I'm actually familiar with the song because Riri was originally released on their first album, which came out, oh geez, like,
Sulfa came out in
yes,
2004, 2005.
yeah, I was gonna say 4 or 5, so it came out a while. So this song was originally, it was an older song, so they pretty much rehashed it, redid it a little bit and put it, and did a new version of it, and the new version is an Erased. So I love both versions. Riri is an amazing song. That
Yes.
guitar like entrance at the beginning of that song, just that
It's
whole
so
guitar
good,
riff, like
right?
their music, it is amazing. So
On
I can
honestly,
completely see why this was in the show.
okay, so I'll be 100% honest. We're going to talk about another Asian Kung Fu Generation song a little later on. I like this song way more. Like
I do
Riri
too.
is so good. It has an amazing guitar line, but it's
Hmm.
simple at the same time. And we live in a world where I think sometimes simple gets really downplayed as being like a bad thing, but I don't like I love it. It's got a nice simple hook, and it's really catchy, and you get into it. And honestly, now for me, I watched Erased. Um, so uh, January 1st of 2018, I watched episode 1 to episode 13 and was done before lunch. So
Wow.
it's not hard to get through Erased. Really good show, minus the ending. But um, I will say really good, and there's no other song that could really be at the front of that opening. So I of that show, I will say like Riri is amazing. That is my favorite Asian kung fu song. I mean, Asian kung fu does a lot of amazing music. That goes without saying. But if we did an artist spotlight, my number one would be Riri, and there's a lot of nostalgia I have for that other song. That's how much I love Riri. So good, so good.
And
Moving.
I will say I would have been with you on that one as well. So
Well, I think we're still kicking around the idea of doing one of those. So stay tuned. We'll probably do something for Asian Kung Fu Generation at some point. They are important, and that I think that in and of itself we need to talk about. But moving on to the next one is one of my songs, and I I don't know the so I don't know if it's Eureka Seven or Eureka Seven because I just don't know. It's spelled Eureka, but I don't know if it's just like Japanese pronunciation of the word or what. Either or. I usually call it Eureka Seven, but I think some people say Eureka Seven. Um, I do love the first opening to the series. if it wasn't for the second opening, the first opening would have been on this list. However, Shonen Heart by Home Kazuku is one of the dopest songs you will ever listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were really the first group that really got me into um, J rap and J hip hop and all that stuff. Like, I love Home Kazuku. Um, I know they did one of the Bleach endings and one of the Naruto
They
endings.
did. It's called Thank You. It's the second Bleach ending.
Yeah,
I also love Homemade Kazoku, and this song is amazing. Shonen Heart is awesome.
it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in the series, that series is still fun. They're still playing up that fun angle. It's not until the back half of that series it gets dark. But so it actually really fits. It really hits the mood just right. And so I can't recommend it enough. Like Shonen Heart was the song that got me into Home Kazuku, and I bought the greatest hits that summer. I listened to it on repeat for 2 months. I love Home Kazuku. I haven't. I don't know if they've done anything in a while, but I hope they're not done. I hope they're still doing stuff because I love this song. It's so much fun.
I
But
totally agree. So the next one is, so everyone knew this would have to be on the list. I'm pretty sure if I'm talking about this, you guys are guessing what I'm thinking of. It's Evangelion, and it's Zankoku na Tenshi no Thesis, or Shisa's Terete. So Cruel Angel's Thesis by Takahashi Yoko. I love this song. I ever since I watched Evangelion a long time ago, I actually need to rewatch this. This song has always caught me. It is one song that's always played, always covered. It's amazing. I cannot give this song enough credit for how amazing this is, and it really does fit with the show. If you watch the show, definitely fits with it.
it yeah, and I mean, if you're curious about the song, I think the title "Cruel Angel's Thesis" it tells you everything you need to know about it.
Hmm.
It Yeah, Evangelion. It's an interesting song. It's honestly a little bit more upbeat than you would expect.
Hmm.
Uh, but it still sets the right mood that's very appropriate for that series. And yeah, Cruel Angel's Thesis. I never remember the Japanese title. I always just refer to it as Cruel Angel's Thesis. But yeah, no, that's a it's a really good song. Definitely something that sticks with you long after the show ends. So yeah, definitely recommend that.
I do too. So the next one, I'll just do double. So this was Ken's choice, and this is also from Evangelion, but this is from Evangelion Death and Rebirth, which was one of the movies. It's pretty much a recap of the series.
So if I
It's been
remember,
years
so if I remember
since.
correctly, Death and Rebirth. So it's actually two movies in the
Oh,
in one.
it
Like Death
was,
is a recap of the series, and
yes,
Rebirth is a new ending,
yep,
because the writer couldn't make up his mind on how they end the show. I mean,
yes,
you have the
and
end of Evangelion, which was just like fans did not like episodes 25 and 26, so let's give them a new episode 25 and 26. And then
yep,
and then he was like, I still don't like it. Let me go back and redo something else. Like, I've only
hmm.
seen the originals. I haven't seen End of Evangelion, and I haven't seen Death and Rebirth. I've only seen the original series and the rebuild movies. So
So I've actually seen Death and Rebirth and End of Evangelion. The funny thing is I didn't know what Evangelion was when I was in high school. My friend brought over Death and Rebirth and End of Evangelion. We watched both of those back to back. All I could think about is what the hell am I watching? So I remember the song
a
from,
phrase said when you're watching the original 25th and 26th episodes of the original series too.
yep. So the song is Tamashino Refrain by Takahashi Yoko. And this song reminds you a little bit of Cruel Angel's Thesis, tiny bit. It
Yeah.
starts out a little bit slower and then it goes into a lot more upbeat. It's her voice fits with the song, like how beautiful her voice is. It is it fits with the tone of the movies. It has this I'm trying to think how to describe this angelic feel to it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I really like the song as well, but I love the original opening so much just because I've listened to it so many times. But Tamashino Refrain is also amazing, and I highly recommend, if you're going to listen to one, listen to both if you haven't already.
all right. Moving on to the next one is my pick. Um, so one of my favorite shows, and I'm not being hyperbolic about this. It's literally like one or two. Is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I absolutely love and adore that show to death. And I will be honest, there's a couple of openings that I love from that show, but when I thought about it, I had I had to pick one, and again it is really the only song that made sense. Again by Yui is a fantastic song. And one of the bet for a long running show, I would say again is the best first song that they've ever picked because it sets the tone, and no song I can think of sounds quite like what Yui what again is doing. It's just so different. It's slow but not at the same time, and she has those sections of the song where she's singing really fast, and it works. It works so well. She changes tempo mid song, and it works. And then when she needs to, it slows back down again, and it's this amazing song that just feels so right at the front of a tale that's about redemption, about making mistakes and trying to just get things back to some sort of normalcy, and trying to make up for your past and mistakes. So it like there's other songs that I love, but again by Yui, it's a phenomenal song, and there's just no other answer here. Like it had to be on the list.
I agree. It's a really good song, and I love Yui. And whenever she does
Hmm.
a theme song for a show, I feel like it always fits perfectly, and it's done so well. And this one does not disappoint.
I now I know you haven't seen Brotherhood, but you've read the manga. I will say whenever you watch the show and you're actually watching the opening, the
Hmm.
actual imagery that they use is perfect too.
I did watch the opening before this because I have the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood Complete Best limited edition, which comes with the CD and DVD for all the openings and endings to Brotherhood because I love Full Metal and I own Brotherhood twice on
Yes.
DVD, and then I got Blu-ray and I got the Aniplex Blu-ray coming. And yes, I will watch it. I promise. I
Yes.
just it's I just got so much stuff to get through, but I own the limited edition, so I've
Well,
actually seen all the opening and endings, and I love them.
yes.
So I
Oh
think
yeah,
they're
that's so
really
good.
good.
I will.
They're beautifully done.
I will say, if you have a busy life, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's a bit of a commitment, so I
Yeah.
can understand why you're sitting on it. But when you get
Yeah.
to it, it's an amazing ride.
Yes, I am sure. So the next one is one of my picks, and it's Full Metal Panic. And I flippin' love Full Metal Panic, and they just came out with a new series that's airing in Japan right now, the sequel.
It's
And there's
done.
actually a couple sequels. I love Full Metal Panic. The music is amazing, and the song I picked was Tomorrow by Shimokawa Mikuni, and this was the first opening. And you know it when you hear it. You hear I guess you could say like the guitar playing, and you hear Futari de Negibashi Sagashite. I know the whole song. As soon as I hear it, I have to sing along to it. And I've watched this show several times. And I bought it on DVD years ago, probably first year of college. Maybe I found a good deal on it. I still go back and watch it. I rewatched it a couple years ago again, and the music does not disappoint. I had so much trouble picking a song from the franchise because I also love the opening to Fumafu, Soraga Aidesho. I love that one. Um, but I can't say enough about this song. It's catchy. It's more of a mellow song, like it's upbeat, but it's not like hyper upbeat. It definitely puts you in the mood as there you see them kind of like sitting on all the mechas and you see, it just that opening fits that song so well and the lyrics fit it really well too. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching the show and watch the sequels too because the sequels are actually really really good. Because Minami Kaze for the third one, the second raid, it's really good too. Like I feel like she knocked it out of the park with her songs for this.
I always thought it was weird. Second rate's the third one in the series. I was like, that
Well,
makes.
it's technically the second, but Fumafu is just a parody. So Fumafu is a parody of the original show.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
seen Full Metal Panic?
I've seen the first seven, basically through the first story arc. Um,
Okay.
I liked it, but I don't know. To be fair, I didn't care much for the mech designs, and I'm one of those people. If I don't like the mech design, it's hard for me to watch the show. So
Yeah,
I was
and the
like,
mech designs are, and it's outdated because think this show when it came out, yes, the mech designs are extremely outdated, and I'm not a big fan of them, but I got to love the characters so much.
yeah,
Fumofu actually has no mechs, so if you don't like the mechs or doesn't have many mechs, watch Fumofu because it's a parody and pretty much
well,
you can get it by you see the costume and he pimps out this costume of this giant mouse and has all this military stuff in it and he goes around and he kind of like follows the girl to make sure she doesn't get kidnapped and the
well,
only thing that costume can say is Fumu Fumu Fumu.
that sounds adorable.
It's hilarious and adorable and I love Fumu and it's just a comedy. You don't even have to watch the first series to watch Fumu.
Well,
So
like, I love mech shows. I love watching mech shows. I really do. Like mech. If I had to pick a favorite genre of anime, it'd be mech. But I don't know why. Like I liked Full Metal Panic, but it's not a traditional mech series, and I think that's one
nope,
reason why I had a hard time getting into it. Is I was expecting a I wouldn't say Gundam, but I was
it's more
expecting more of a traditional
military.
mech series. Well, I mean Gundam's very
Yeah,
militaristic
this one
too.
is way more like I don't know, civilian slash military. It's
Yeah.
if you I don't
Well,
know how to describe it. I would
he
say if
does
you
a
like
lot
Stratus
of
4, you might like this.
yeah.
Maybe.
He does a. I mean, from what I remember from the series, he does a lot of stuff outside of the mech too. Like he is a covert operative that goes behind front line. He basically only breaks out the mech when he has to.
Yep.
That was my memory of it. So it's like
Yep.
like
That's how it is. And when it gets more near the end, the mechs come out more. But
yes,
it's I wouldn't even classify it as a mech show. I would say it's military
yeah.
slash slice of life
Well,
because in a way it is.
and see, I have a friend. He hates mech shows. He loves Full Metal Panic. He loves Full Metal Panic, but you can't get
Yeah,
him to
I
watch Gundam.
yeah, I would consider it more of a slice of life and military than I would mech. There's mechs in it, but I don't consider it really mech.
Yeah. Well, like I have a friend who doesn't consider Code Geass a mech series, and I'm like, eh, I don't know. There's a lot of bots in that show, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
a traditional mech series.
Yeah, it's not Gundam or
No, 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 no.
Transformers.
And we'll get to Gundam. We're
Yes.
that's the next step.
Yep. I'll
Uh,
let you. Mhm.
yes. This is actually a late edition of mine. It was added like an hour, 2 hours ago, but I had to read. Luna inspired me with her list. I was like, oh yeah, there's a couple things I forgot. So I reevaluated mine, and upon reevaluation, I added the opening to Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory, which is the winner by Miki Matsubara. I love this song, and there was another Gundam's show that I was going to do as well, but I didn't want to clog up my top 10 with too many Gundam shows. So I think the winner is a really solid song in front of a fairly underrated series, in my opinion. Like a lot of people have seen Gundam Wing, um, so ones that we're going to talk about later. A lot of people have seen. Not that many people have seen Stardust Memory, and I love Stardust Memory. It's such a great series. The joke is that they just ripped the plot from Top Gun, and everybody calls it Top Gundam. So, um, yeah, but the winner, it's so good, sets the mood. It's got like that 80 late 80s, early 90s rock theme to it, but it's got enough pop in it that's just it really revs you up, and it's got a great hook. I love this song. Like when I hear like this, like the opening beats of it, like I can always envision Ko running through the atmosphere. Just because just how visual, how because the way that they did it is his steps are almost perfectly in time with the beats of the song. So like it just gets you that visual imagery going, and it's such an amazing ride, and it sets you up for one of the best shows. I love Gundam 0083. I watch it, rewatch it all the time. So I cannot recommend the winner enough. Like, it is a really good song.
So yeah, that's one I haven't seen, but I enjoyed the song greatly. And so next up, we do have another Gundam. So this is my pick. And man, I will say a lot of people hate this one. It's one of the most hated Gundams, and it's Gundam Seed Destiny. And so I really enjoy Gundam Seed. I'm one of the odd people out. Destiny is not good, but both Gundams have amazing music. And Destiny has amazing music, and the mechs are pretty badass. So I will say that it's just the storyline and the characters aren't all likable. Especially the main character they use for Destiny is a total douchebag, and I really hate him. You hate him, and you cannot feel sorry for him no matter what because he's being a baby. But I will say this is the first opening to start off Destiny. So when I first saw the opening, I'm thinking, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. I cannot wait. It is Ignited by TM Revolution. And as you hear those first beats and you see that mobile suit coming out and being put together, and you just hear the song fits perfectly. And TM Revolution also did the first opening to the previous one, Gundam Seed.
Yeah.
And this song is high energy. It's amazing. It puts you in the mood to want to watch a great mech show. Fortunately, Destiny is not very good. But
Puts you in the mood to watch a great next show. Unfortunately, the show doesn't live up to that ideal.
no,
Uh,
the
uh,
song is amazing though. And I've actually seen Destiny twice and no, it's not good. I actually watched the first 30 and then they killed off my favorite character, or I found out they were going to kill her off. And I said, okay, F you. I'm out. So I refused to watch the second half of it for years. And then I finally rewatched the first half I stopped at, then I rewatched the rest. It's not good, but the mechs in it and the music, all the openings are amazing. The endings are amazing, but this opening starts you off, gets you pumped, and this song gets me pumped in general. It puts me in the mood to want to watch Gundam. It screams Gundam to me. It
yeah,
screams
it
like high
does.
energy Gundam.
So, yeah, I actually have the album that the song's off of, and I wound up. I wouldn't say watching the music video because I was driving at the time, so I just had it playing. But I will say I watched the music video for this, and I wasn't expecting it to be what it was. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's like him doing battle with this demon sort of
Yep.
thing.
It's really weird. The
I
music
was,
video is so weird.
I was like, okay. Now I will agree with everything that you said about it so far. Like stellar song. What a way to just like it made me want to watch a mech show, and I'm at work. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I was not expecting the music video. That was the one thing that I took away from it. I was like, is he fighting a demon? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what am I watching?
Yep,
It
I
was
rewatched the
bizarre.
video and I'm just like, ooh, I forgot about that.
Que sera sera. But moving on to the next one, we have Inuyasha, and this is my pick. And it honestly, I'm gonna be 200% real with you guys. It came down to two songs for me with Inuyasha, and if we had the multi rule, they'd both be on here. I love both those songs just as much, but I listened to this one a lot more on repeat. So it is Grip by Every Little Thing. I love this song. It is so good. And it's in front of my favorite arc that they did for that series. Like cuz it's the opening that they did for the seven the seven warriors that they brought back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's this is the opening for that arc. I my favorite arc of the whole series, where they're trying to climb Mount Hakare, and Moroku is just trying not to stare at Sango's butt the entire time, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just laughing your butt off because it's like
Oh
the
yeah.
funniest thing.
I love this song as well, and this got me
Oh,
into every little thing. Actually, Inuyasha is one of the animes that got me into some Japanese music, along with Card Captors.
yes,
But I love Grip as well, and it is
oh,
a
it's so
great
good.
song. And Inuyasha had so many great songs in general. It was a tough choice, but I agree. Grip is one I still listen to,
Yeah, it's
and I can hear it playing in my head actually right now.
oh yeah, because like the opening, it's like I know it's all keyboard, but you don't care. It's like you just kind of break out the air guitar when you hear that melodic keyboard just going in, and it's just so
Yeah,
upbeat.
it's memorable. It's extremely memorable, and that's the great thing about it.
It lives up to its name. It grips you.
Yes,
You're like, whoa,
yes.
what am I listening to? Like I just like it because it takes you for a ride, and it's just like man, when I was watching that arc and Grip would come on, like I would get excited for Inuyasha. I'd be like, yes, yes, more Inuyasha, yes. That again, that arc is my favorite of the show, so that might also be a little bit biased. But it's like it's either this or Change the World. And while I love that song, Grip just edges it out. Um,
Hmm.
so def like, oh my lord. And it is available on iTunes. I cannot recommend this song enough. It's so good, so good. But moving on, unless you have anything else you want to add, Luna.
Nope.
Cool. I will take this one because
Okay.
it was on my list and I took it off my list to add the winner. So I will do this one. This is Ken. He was the one that added this, and this is a great song. This is a great song. It is from Naruto, and it is Far and Beyond by Asian Kung Fu Generation. It is the second opening, so if you're not uber familiar with your song titles, it's the second opening of the series. And yeah, the song is awesome. This is the song
Hmm.
that so like for me, like the first song I ever heard by Asian Kung Fu Generation was Rewrite for Full Metal Alchemist. This was number 2. But this was the song that caused like I had almost no money, but in 2006 I imported the album that this song was on because I loved it so much, and it was just a six mini. It's just a six uh six songs on the album, so it was a mini, and I love the songs. You talk about guitar rip. You talk about just the chord progression and the way that the song flows. Like it's if Riri is one, this would be two. Um, like I love Asian Kung Fu Generation. This song really helped contribute to my love for them. And in front of Naruto, the animation really sells this song in a lot of ways, especially when they do like the bridge for the guitar. And in the opening, they have the characters standing in threes, and like the camera starts spinning around, and you get to see like a panoramic shot. That at the time was super hard to animate because computer animation just isn't what it was at that time, just wasn't what it is today. So to see that was really cool, and to me, for me, whenever I'm re-listening to that song and it gets to that part, I still see the camera rotating around those characters in my head, and to me, that's just a mark of an amazing song. And uh, I will say I was glad he put this song on here because it gave me a chance to talk about it. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I love it, and I know it by when I saw it. I'm like, "What's Far and Beyond?" So I typed it in, and then Haruka Kanata came up. I'm like, "Oh, never mind. I know what song this is."
yeah,
And I didn't really. I watched Naruto maybe up to the first 30 episodes, and I said, "Eh, I don't care anymore." But I loved this song, and actually, Naruto had some really, really good music.
yes, it
And
does.
this was definitely one of them, and this is just an amazing song. So I'm super glad he put this one on here as well.
Yeah. Uh, like if you're talking about shows with like like even like an orchestral soundtrack that I just swear by, it would be Naruto and Inuyasha. Like those two had like in my opinion like some of the best orchestral music ever. Um, like Inuyasha edges it out for me, but Naruto's really good
Mm-hmm.
as a whole. Like a stellar series with a really good music.
I completely agree. So, and then so the next one is it's one of mine, and it is from the anime Negima, as some people know it as. Is it Magical Sense Mao
Oh,
Sensei Negima, or it's like Magister Negimagi? Might be another
I
title. So it has a couple
it has a couple of
names.
titles, yeah, but I, I, I think when you, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but when I watched it on Netflix, it was just Negima.
And there's two different ones. There's Negima with just the exclamation, and there's the sequel, which is or sequel or alternate version. I haven't watched that one yet. Is Negima with the question mark and then the exclamation behind it. So I did this for the first one, and I never finished this anime. I remember watching half of it, and I don't remember what happened. I need to go back and watch this, but I love this opening theme so much that I actually bought the single it was on, imported it back in the day, and it is Happy Material by all the voice actors in that, and it did rotate for the first couple of openings, but
Yeah.
it's amazing, and I love Happy Material so much, and this is one of my cutesy happy ones, and I do love some of the cutesy anime music, and when you hear this, it really is a happy go lucky song, and I have it stuck in my head now, and I've listened to this song on repeat so many times, and
it,
I heard that the show does get really dark, so it doesn't become happy anymore.
it gets,
But
you have to, like I watched this years ago. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I will say what I do remember of is it starts off very light and carefree. It's a lot about, it's basically like a slice of life in a magical school, kind of like
mm-hmm.
Harry Potter. But
Yep.
as the series progresses, dark things eventually do happen, and I do remember there being some really sad moments of the show. They do change openings, so the Happy Material is not the opening for the whole series. I think the back half of the series they do have a different opening.
Yeah.
Don't remember what that is, but I do remember them changing openings. But yeah, no, Negima's amazing. And to be fair, like the first 12 episodes, the song's perfect. Sets it up
Mm-hmm.
so perfectly. It sets the mood, the atmosphere, the tone. Um, also sets like the characters and the like the personality, because I mean it's lighthearted adventure. And the funny thing about Negima is he's a lot younger than his students,
Yep.
so there's
Yeah.
that dynamic
Yeah.
too.
But this
Uh,
is a great song, and it's always if you want something happy and something really upbeat, this is the song. It just, man, now I really want to listen to it again because I love this song so much. I'm gonna have to get my single back out.
all right,
So.
moving on to the next one. This is mine. The next two will be mine. Apparently, I'm the only person that likes anime that start with the letter O. Joking. I know. But the first one. So uh, back when Luna knew me when we were on our trip, she could tell you I was a huge One Piece fan, and over the years, I have not been able to keep up with One Piece the way that I would like, but I am still a huge One Piece fan. I love that show. It is one of the best shows that I can think of that really is an adventure, and I feel like I'm on an adventure when I watch it. I love the characters. I love everything about it. And I know One Piece is kind of controversial. A lot of people hate it. It goes on for an eternity. I totally get it. But One Piece has some of the best openings ever. However, I felt like the best opening, and I know this is controversial even in the One Piece world, because a lot of people say Kokoro no Chizu is the best opening, but I disagree. And in my humble opinion, it is Believe by Folder 5. That song is amazing. It's the second opening, but it's never been as good as Believe. I love that song. It is so good, so catchy, just high energy. I guess it's the first song I liked by an idol group, even though I at the time I didn't know it was an idol group. But I love Believe. I could, it's one of those songs I can listen to on repeat. It never gets old. It is one of my favorite songs of all time. It's a no-brainer for me. I love Believe, and like I said, there's a lot of amazing openings for One Piece, but Believe is just so good, so catchy, just really pulls you in, makes you ready to go on an adventure. And We Are does the same thing, We Go does the same thing, but it's just I for me Believe it's perfect. It's a pop song. I'm not going to shy away from that. It's amazing though, and it is a lot of fun. The music video is a little weird though, because around the middle when they're doing the bridge, they think it's really good to do like these awkward super close-ups of all the idols. I'm like, I don't know if you need to do that or not, but it's okay. Because they do like the zoom in close-up, and I'm like, okay. But I love Believe. It is one of my absolute favorite songs of all time, and it's just no way would it not be on this list. Oh. Um, but I don't think you have anything to add, Luna, because I know you're not a One Piece fan.
I did listen to the song and I thought it was really good. And I liked One Piece, but it was just too long for me.
No, no, that's
I
fine.
liked what
It's an investment.
I've liked what I've seen. It's just, it's not that I don't like it.
It's
When it
it's an
ends, I'll
investment.
watch it.
Uh,
So,
well, yeah, you have like 6 or 7 more years before it ends, so plenty of
yeah.
time, plenty of time to get caught up. But moving on, this is another one of those where Luna was really glad it was on my list because it's like, oh yeah, this sounds amazing. So the very first anime I ever bought with my own money was a little show called Outlaw Star, and the opening Through the Night by Arimachi Masahiko is so good. This was the teaser song that I did yesterday uh, um, for my teaser because I wanted a teaser for each of us. And I love Through the Night. It's one of those songs. It's like the moment you put it on, you crank the radio up as loud as it can go, or as loud as your eardrums will let it go, and you just bust it. Just so good. It's high energy rock. Got a great bass line. Just it oozes that '90s anime, and it's like just one of the best ways ever to open a show. Um, I I can't. sing enough of the song's praises. It's so good.
Actually, it's a really, really good song, and it really catches you. It's been years since I've rewatched Outlaw Star, and then as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh my god, such a great song. And it's an opening you remember once you hear it, you know, oh, that's Outlaw Star.
Yep, it sticks with you. It's not forgettable in the slightest.
Hmm.
It just I oh my lord, I do I love this, and I'm really glad that Funimation re-released this on Blu-ray. I really want to pick it up. I do have it on DVD, obviously, because it was the first one I ever bought. But you know, I just I love Outlaw Star, and I I don't think it gets the love that Cowboy Bebop does or other shows. And it's got
Hmm.
its issues. It's not a perfect show by any means, but still, it's just a great show. Inspired by Treasure Planet, it's a fun ride, and I cannot recommend it enough. Like if you want really good exercise music, you put on Through the Night and see how energized you are afterwards. I promise you, you're going to be moving a lot.
Hmm. So the next two are mine, and I'm just gonna say this. So the one I chose is Rasefan, and a lot of people have not actually seen or heard this anime. It's an older one, 0304. This was produced by all the music for the show is produced by Yoko Kanno, and it has the most gorgeous music. And this is a sci-fi. Some people classify it as mech.
It
It's a
looks mech.
really, really weird show.
It looks like it's a mech show just from like the
I
box art and some of the images I've seen.
I will say this: it's Evangelion done right.
I mean, I want to see it.
So
I haven't seen it. I
I love Evangelion, but this is like you take Evangelion, you put this mix in there with more, some like absolutely stunning music because they had the music aspect to the show in some ways, but it actually has a good ending. You're happy with it. You're upset, but you're happy with it. Not like Evangelion's, which is whack. So I will say this is Evangelion done right by all means.
wait, which
So
ending? There's three, and I would argue one of those isn't an ending at all.
yeah, so the song I picked is Hemisphere by Sakamoto Maya. And most people know who Sakamoto Maya is. She's done a lot of music to a lot of anime, including Record of Lotus War. She did Card Captor. She's done Subasa. She works a lot with Yoko Kanno. And I just cannot say enough how beautiful this song is. It's like when you hear it, it is a mellow song, and it has like she has her tone goes up and down in it, and you can tell like in a really like certain parts of the song. I would just say listen to it and you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. But it starts out really mellow and it picks up speed, and her vocals pick up speed with it, and it is just glorious and beautiful. And this is one of my top 5 songs, even not being anime, because I cannot say enough praise for this song. And the show is phenomenal. I recently rewatched it, and I really want the Japanese Blu-ray. And I've been contemplating on buying it because there are subs, but it's a good chunk of money.
Yeah,
So
especially for an
it's
older anime like that, you tend to pay a lot of money.
I think the box set is around 300, and I've been trying to find it on auctions under 200, but I've struggled. It's just, but I have it on DVD. I'm happy. I will say this song is worth checking out. It is just phenomenal, and I cannot say enough. I can listen to it when I'm, relaxing. I can listen to it in any mood. It's one of those songs that'll also put me in a calming mood too. So,
But
I'm
you're
gonna
like
go
it's just
jump
the
into my
opposite
next one,
for the
which
next one.
is hmm?
The next song will not put you in a calming mood.
No. So this is an obvious one that I think most fans do. At least fans of older anime will pick. It's Rini Kenshin, and everyone probably knows which one it's going to be. It is Sobakasu by Judy and Mary.
Yes, yes,
You know this when
yes,
you hear it. You know it's
yes.
tension when you hear this opening. It is so distinct. because as you hear, it starts off really like,
Hard,
serious, like
heavy
something serious,
rock.
like a battle scene. That's how it starts out, and then goes into this really cute, happy, really
Oh,
excited song, and
oh,
you
it's so
just
good though.
know it when you hear it.
Oh my
And
lord, it's so good.
yes,
This is the song I
it.
listened to 5 times when I saw it on your list. I was like, oh yeah, that's the song I love.
hmm
I didn't add it
And
to
I
mine, but yeah, God.
I actually recently rewatched all of Kenshin about maybe 2 years ago, and I love this show and I love this opening. And my DVDs give you the option to watch in English. If you get English audio, you got to listen to the English version, and which I had to listen to on TV all the time. And I mean, I don't hate it, but I love the Japanese
Japanese
version
version.
so much, and it fits with the show. And
Really,
it's like
because
a show that's
I have a friend who
lighthearted
feels
but
the
not
opposite. I have a friend that feels the opposite of that because it's like
really.
it's a super. It is. It's lighter. It has its moments, but for the most part, it's known for its seriousness and its tone. It is a redemption story, and he's like, it
It,
just does not fit. And I'm like, I like the song. I don't really care about how it fits, but yeah, he was like, it
I
does not fit.
I think it like so it in a way fits, but it doesn't because it does have that serious tone at the beginning, and it goes to this happy because in a way it is a story of redemption, and it does have some lightheartedness to it, but it also has a lot of seriousness, especially in season two. Season one gets you into the characters, and yeah, as it gets going, it gets more serious. But I just love this song so much, and this was one that no matter what it was going to be on there, it's
Oh
one of
yeah.
my top songs in general. It's
Oh, it's so
amazing.
good. So good. So good. Yeah. No. No. I felt like an idiot when I saw your list and I saw that there. I was like, why didn't I even think of that? But oh yeah, no, I love Sobakasu. Like and it's one of those songs where it's like I don't care. I'm not fluent in Japanese. I will sing along to this song the entire time it's on because I
hmm
oh god, I love this song. I love it so much. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sobakasu is amazing. I just wish it was on like iTunes or something so I could get it on my phone relatively easy.
hmm
Unlike my song, the last song on my list is not available anywhere. So hooray!
I might. I'll have to look. I might have it somewhere because I have a whole bunch of Hoodie AUVs. Well,
That's
I
fine.
kind of go into it before I say who it is, before I
Yeah. Okay.
ruin it.
Yeah. So my last song on this list is the opening for School Rumble. It's called Scramble by Horie Yui, and it features Unscandal. And I love this song. Um, it is in front of the best season of that anime because season one is amazing and season two is forgettable. But um, I absolutely love this song. It's so good. It sets the tone for the show too because it's just a hijinks show. It's a slice of life romantic comedy that's nothing but hijinks. So it's there's been so many of them done now. It sounds so unoriginal, but I don't typically watch those styles of shows. So when if one hooks me in, it's doing something right. And Scramble was definitely just one of them. It's so good. It is a pop song, but Unscandal is kind of like a jazz group. So the song winds up being like this blend of jazz and pop. I almost ska esque like sound. I mean, there's a trombone player in the song and all that stuff. Like it features a wide range of instruments. But man, it's so good and it's so catchy, and you're just singing along with it after like the third or fourth time you've heard it because it just pulls you in and just sucks you there. And it breaks my heart that it's like because it used to be like you could find like the music video of it, and the music video was really cute, and then now it's not even on YouTube. Like you can still listen to like the TV edit, like School Rumble OP, it's there, but there's no full version of it. Not that I could find. I looked, I tried, but it's a little depressing. And if you can find it, listen to it. It is a lot of fun. I could not recommend it enough. It is great, and it's right in front of an amazing show. So give it a listen.
I might have it. I have a whole bunch of her albums, but I might have to look to see if it's on any of her actual albums, because that I don't know.
Yeah, and see that's the
So,
thing because it's Hoda Yuri featuring on Scandal, and I'm like, well, is it on their stuff? Is it on her stuff? I don't know.
yeah,
It's a
that's what I'd have to do some research and go through the albums I own by her. If I find it, I'll let everyone know which album it's on. So if anyone wants it, they can purchase it.
like this guy here because he wants it.
Actually, I did find it. It is on an album. It is on an album of hers. I actually do not own that album. It's been on my wish list though. It's on her Usosuki Alice to Kujira Go wo Meguru Boken album. And it
Uh,
came out in '05. So, and it's actually one of her albums that's been on my wish list to get. But we do know it's on one of her albums.
yeah,
It's on her
hooray!
fifth album. So if anyone's interested in looking for that song, you can buy it on her fifth album.
Ah, it's so good. It's so good. Like, I'm not familiar with the rest of her work, and I'd love to listen to more of her stuff because I'm wondering what she sounds like without the jazz band accompanying her. Because
I
yeah,
She does a variety of music. I personally like her voice.
oh, it's really good. It's not
So
uber high pitched. It's kind of like the right uh poppiness. It's not overdone. It's good.
mhm.
Like like I'm to me like Scramble is magic. I love that song.
All right. So the next one is Ken's pick, and it is Shin Buddy Fight. That's the anime, and it's one I'm not familiar with. And I am familiar with the artist though. So the song is Sa Iko, and the artist is Poppin' Party,
Yep.
which we've actually seen on the Oricon before, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we've seen
And
Poppin' Party and Roselia both on the Oricon.
yep, so I listened to the song and I actually really like it. And I've heard Poppin' Party before, so I already like them. But this is a really good song, very high energy. You definitely know it's anime or a phone game, but it's super, super upbeat, really catchy beat to it as well. So I personally liked it. There's not too much I can say about it because I'm not really familiar with it.
Yeah,
So, but maybe
I
Ken can give us
was
some more enlightenment on it later.
and we are going to do an article for all these too. It'll be long after the show posts, but we'll have hopefully links and videos to all these songs so you guys can check them out. But yeah, he'll probably have to go into why it's so great because I did listen to it. It was briefly. I was working, so I wasn't able to take it in the way I need to. To be fair, the same is said for the last two on this list. Like I can talk more about the dead last one than I can the next to last one, but I
I can talk about the second to last one
cool,
because I love that song.
cool.
So, but we'll go into the next one, which is mine.
Yes.
So I'm hoping some people are familiar with this one. It is Slayer's Next, and I had difficulty picking between which Slayer's opening because I love the first Slayer's opening, Get Along, but I also love, which is what I chose, is Give a Reason by Hayashibara Megumi.
Oh,
And
this song's
this
so good.
song is magic. Like as soon as you hear it, you get caught into it. And plus, I love Slayers. I freaking love Slayers, and I really want to sit back and rewatch it again. But
It's
this song is great.
Slayers is one of those shows I really, really want to see. Haven't had the opportunity, but I did watch the opening for this, and I will say it is '90s anime goodness from beginning to end. I was like, I haven't seen this show, and I'm already nostalgic.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it has
it's
that
so
feel.
good.
It really does. And when you hear "Get Along," you will get that same thing because it starts out with her talking "Abadai Monster," and it gets you into the song. But I love "Give a Reason" so much because of the beat of the song. It really pulls you in because Slayer's neck, like all the Slayer's seasons were exciting. This one is it was like really exciting. So the song really gets you into the feel and gets you into the mood. It's a I would say somewhat high energy song. It's a very energetic song, and it's like it's definitely 90s anime theme song at its best.
Yep.
It's so amazing. And I also love Breeze, which was for season 3. But Give a Reason is just one that I always go back to and I always have to listen to because it's so freaking good. It just puts me in a great mood.
Uh, I will say
So,
definitely worth checking out. It has a good
oh yeah.
song.
So the next one, I'm actually pretty familiar with. It is. I've actually not watched this anime. I've only seen the movie. It is Suzumiya Haruhi. So the disappearance, the melancholy
The
of
Melancholy.
Suzumiya Haruhi.
Yeah, the movie was The Disappearance.
Suzumiya Haruhi no Yutsu is the Japanese title. I've only seen the movie, which is Disappearance.
Yeah, I
Um,
haven't seen either or. So
so I have the Blu-ray set, but my sister, if you're listening to this, still has it, needs to finish it so I can watch it.
get on it,
I
sis.
lent it to her. So, but the song is the song I'm pretty sure if you've seen this show, you know what song it is. It is Boken Dishou Dishou by Hirano Aya. So I've actually watched the dance video to this a million gazillion times, and I love this song because it's Hirano Aya, and I love Hirano Aya. This song is great. It has a catchy beat. You want to dance to it, and once you hear it, you want to learn the dance that Suzumiya Haruhi does in this and for this. There is a dance, and I know
Oh
part
Lord.
of it.
So it's like the Macarena.
It's very catchy. There's a dance for this, and there's also one for Hare Hare Yukue. I think that's what it's been a long time, but
Yeah.
this one, Boken Disho Disho, is a great song. Pretty much, it's an adventure, right? Right. That's the translation. It is a amazing song. I love it. I'm pretty sure Ken, picked it for that reason because he really likes it. It really gets you in a good mood, and it's a fun song. Anything by Hirano Aya is amazing because she did a lot. She's also the main actress. She is Suzumiya Haruhi, so she not only does the opening, she's the voice actress.
Citrus.
She does the insert songs too.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, she does. I think she's very, very talented, and I've seen her change her voice on some of her little videos. So I'm pretty sure Ken picked this because it's such a great song, and I totally agree with him. And I'm so glad he picked this because this was on one of the lists I had to kick out. So I'm glad he picked this one.
All right, and the last one is an anime. I know I haven't seen it. I don't know if you've seen it, Luna. It's
I
been on.
own it, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's actually one of the most highly recommended anime I've heard in a while. Like a lot of people recommend it. It's just so beloved by the anime community. Which I guess makes me feel bad because I haven't watched it. But it's Welcome to the NHK Puzzle by Roundtable featuring Nino. And I gotta say, this was quite the interesting song. It is suitable. I know what the show's about, and I know what topics it's dealing with, and I gotta say, it does a really good job of setting the mood because I think Welcome to NHK, like if you look at just the imagery and some of the pictures from it, you think it's a comedy show, and it's got a few lighthearted moments in it in the early episodes. Because I think I did watch like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I do remember there being some comedy. But by and large, it's not a comedy show, and it's I think it deals with depression, if I remember correctly. And the great thing about Puzzle is it's not an upbeat song. It does a really good job of kind of setting your expectations for the show. It is it is a good song. I do like it. I mean, I've only heard it a few times, but I do recommend it. It is a great song. I do wish Ken was here more to talk about why he loves it, because he will probably be able to say a lot more than me. But
Yeah, and I second that as a really good song, and I'm already familiar with Roundtable featuring because I really like a lot of their songs. But Puzzle's really good, and it made me want to push Welcome to the NHK more up on my list of shows to watch. It's been a chore, and after like going through all these, I'm like, ooh, I need to put this back on my list. I need to
Yeah.
make this one go up farther as my next watch.
I will
So
say, from my understanding, the ending, like near the end, it gets really tough to watch, and you'll need some tissues.
it's okay. I'm used to that. I always end up watching the ones that make me freaking cry, and I end up loving them so much too because
Well,
the
they get it
storylines are so good.
if they're to the point where you're in tears and they've gotten an emotional response out of you, so they did something that matters to you. If you watch a show and you feel nothing, then to me, I feel like I wasted my time. So
Hmm.
I mean, those are the best shows, are the ones that um, it's just like, all right, grab the box of tissues. It's you're going to be crying the whole time.
Hmm. Yep. Every time I watch them, so I'm okay with crying, but I think this was a very good list, and it was a great variety. And I would love to see what we do next time because we might watch more shows in the meantime that end
Yep.
up really popping on here.
Oh yeah, like I was talking about Gridman earlier. Like, I love that opening.
Hmm.
I'm not going to put it on this list, but I do like I'd recommend Gridman to anybody. But that opening is so good.
Hmm.
I only have the TV edit on iTunes, which makes me
It's
mad.
probably because I think she's Sony.
Probably.
Nakagawa Shoko's Sony, and Aniplex owns Good and Lagan, which could explain it. And
Yeah.
Sony, if I'm correct, associates a lot with Aniplex shows.
Well, I don't think Aniplex is doing Gridman. I think it's I know Trigger
Oh, wrong
is
one. I thought
anime.
you were saying Good and Lagan. I'm so
Oh no,
sorry. I'm totally wrong. Don't listen to me.
Gridman, Gridman. But no, that's fine. But no, this is a great list. There's a lot of shows on here. Either I've wanted to see and just haven't had the time, or I love, haven't seen in a long time, uh, or I never heard of. There was one or two I was like, what is this? I've never heard of it. So that's the sign of a good list. And I was expecting more um, um, songs from the same anime. Like, I was expecting like three or four Bleach songs. I was expecting two or three Inuyasha songs, and the fact that we only had two songs that were duplicates from the same shows, I felt like, oh, that's good. We had a wide variety of anime to talk about.
I
So
agree.
that
I
was
think
always
we
good.
did good with it because we all have our shows that we've all watched such a variety, and we all like different genres of music. So it's really good that we have a good range
Yeah,
of songs on here and
yeah.
shows.
No, this turned out to be really good, and I do want to do. I'm not announcing when it's doing or anything like that. Just keep an eye out for it. But there will be a part two with endings. It doesn't make any sense to do a top 10 just openings. I do think openings tend to stick with people more, but anime endings are equally as awesome. And believe you me, there's plenty more to talk about. So we will be doing that. No, do not fear. So this isn't the last you've heard from us on that end, and maybe we'll be in a position where all three of us can do it. Maybe we'll see. But for now, I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to add, Luna, before we wrap up?
Nope. I think that's it for now. Just let us know your opinions on this and if you like this little special, and we would love to do more things like these.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, we love Japanese music. We love doing the Oricon, but it's fun to talk about things we don't get to normally talk about. Like, we love anime. Um, like, the reason I got into J-pop was through anime. So it it's really nice to talk about something that we don't get to normally talk about. And I'm not too interested in doing an anime podcast. So this is kind of letting me have my cake and eat it too, where I can talk about anime without actually having the anime podcast. Now, we might have one down the line, who knows? But for now, I think this works perfectly. And um, yeah, I had a blast doing this. I had a blast thinking of the list. I was looking forward to today with a lot of anticipation, and I'm so happy that we were able to do this. If you like this, feel free to follow us on SoundCloud. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe. That way you get our videos. We're going to do more videos in the future. Everybody's busy right now, but do keep an eye on our YouTube channel because we have plans for that. It's just right now it's a little barren, but don't worry. There are plans.
And I
You
have more. I have more unboxings coming. I just need to put them on there because I have a ton on my camera still.
uh well
So stay tuned.
if Ken ever sends us his boxes, I will do an unboxing video, although it'll be on my phone because I don't have a camera. But I will do an unboxing video, and you guys will see that. We've also thrown a I've wanted to do like some on camera projects and stuff. There's a lot going on in the background that we're working on, so just stay tuned. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Ongaku To You on both Facebook and Twitter. You can email us at ongakutoyou@gmail.com. If you want to follow Ken and all of his antics, you can follow OTY Ken, um, or as I say, Odie. Uh, but uh, yep. Also, be sure to check out our affiliates, Kyoru Hunter and Timbertaft. They are Twitch streamers. They do video games, as most people do on Twitch. I don't know why I said that. I know Ken does, not Ken. Kyo does horror games mostly, and I'm not uber familiar with what Timbertaft does. So, sorry Timber if you're listening. But check him out anyways. I do listen to the Potosaurus. Seems like an awesome guy, so do check him out. And other than that, I think that's all that we have to do. Any last words, Luna?
I was gonna say, Timbertap currently is playing Dark Souls.
There you
I
go.
get updates on my phone when I'm at work sometimes, or at night, and I don't always get a chance to watch. But I can say that. And Kyo was playing one of the Silent Hills today while I was at work, and I was really upset because I was training today and I could listen to it.
Uh,
But definitely check them out because they play some pretty cool games, and it's really exciting. And Potosaurus is awesome.
yeah, it's a fun
So,
show.
but
I listen to it every week. So,
But that's all. I
or not every
really
week.
have. Just follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Feel free to email us. Let us know how we're doing. Give us some tips if you'd like, or things if you'd like to see that we don't talk about. Feel free to let us know. We'd
Yep.
be happy to dive into it.
And also, I always forget to do this, but if you want to follow me, I'm Ongaku Gray. And yeah, I know my Twitter's a barren wasteland. I know I keep saying I'm going to be better about posting there and never do. I'm sorry, but do follow me when I do post. It's usually loony stuff like me just praising LOL to the high heavens because I love their new album to death. And I was like, Avex, thank you. So hopefully, like I know they're too big, but I keep hoping like maybe they'll follow me like they follow like all the indie artists follow us. Like if they could do that, my life would be made. So anyways, thank you for joining us. This is Gray. Hope you guys have an excellent day. Stay tuned. A regular episode will be out this week. Do not fear. So if you want to find out what's going on in the Japanese music industry, stay tuned for that. And other than that, I will see you guys later.
This is Luna signing off for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Although you will listen to me tomorrow on the regular episode as well. Thank you.